Hello, welcome to the English classes with Asha VN. Today we are going to look into a new chapter, Madam Rides the Bus, written by Valli Kannan. Madam Rides the Bus is a sensitive story about an 8-year-old girl named Vallyamai. She was called Valli in short. She was a curious girl. She wanted to know many things as well as had a strong desire for her first bus journey into the world outside her village. At this very tender age, she tries to understand the mystery of life and death. She did not have playmates of her own age, so her pastime was standing in front of the doorway of her house to see what was happening outside. Watching the happenings in the street gave her many unusual experiences. The most fascinating thing of all was the bus that passed through the street each hour from her village to the nearest town. The sight of the bus was a source of unending joy for Valli. It was a great joy for her to watch new sets of passengers every time the bus passed through the street. As she watched the bus day by day, she developed a desire to have a ride on that bus. Her wish became stronger and stronger until it was an overwhelming desire. She was envious of those friends of her for having already experienced the journey and sights of the town. In her frustration, she would shout in English, proud, proud, which was a slang expression of disapproval she and her friends used, though they didn't fully understand the word's meaning. Valli found out the details of the bus journey by listening carefully to the conversations between her neighbors and the regular bus users. In this way, she learned about small details related to the bus journey. She gathered the information that the town was 6 miles away from her village and it took 45 minutes to reach there by bus. The fare was 30 paise for one way. One could keep sitting on the bus and return to the village by paying another 30 paise. Valli planned her visit to the town. She saved every paisa by resisting her desire to buy ice cream, toys, balloons, etc. She had also sacrificed her desire to visit the village fair and have a ride in the merry-go-round. She saved 60 paise for the future. She decided to take the 1 o'clock bus so she would be back home by around 2:45 before her mother woke up from her afternoon nap. So one fine spring day, Valli boarded the bus. She refuses to take any help from the conductor or fellow passengers. The conductor, seeing her confidence, allowed her to board the bus. He was a jolly fellow. He amused Valli with her light hearted remarks. He understood that Valli spoke with pride. He called her madam and offered her seat. He asked others to make way for the madam. There were only 6 or 7 passengers on the bus as it was the slack time. They were all looking at Valli. She overcame her shyness, quickly walked to an empty seat and sat down. Valli was very happy to have got into the bus. She looked around her in the bus. The bus had a fine painting of green stripes on the white. It had soft and comfortable seats. It had a beautiful clock above the windscreen. The overhead bars shone like silver. Then she tried to look outside. She found her view cut off by the curtain that covered the lower part of her window, so she stood on a seat to enjoy the outside scene. She looked outside through the window. She could see the canal, the palm trees, grassland, distant mountains, and the blue sky. She met some passengers on the bus. She got annoyed when an elderly man called her a child and warned Valli not to stand on the seat as she could fall and get hurt. She told him proudly that she was not a child. She had paid the full fare like the others. The conductor told the man that Valli was a grown up madam. Valli looked at the conductor angrily and said that she was not a madam. The conductor advised her that she should not stand on the seat. He warned her that she could fall when the bus took sharp turns. Next, an elderly woman came and sat beside her. Valli looked at the woman. She found her repulsive. The woman had ugly earrings. She was chewing betel nuts. Valli could see that the betel juice was likely to spill from her lips. That woman asked Valli whether she was traveling all alone. Valli told her that she was alone and she had got a ticket too. Then the old woman asked her if it was proper for a child to travel alone. She also asked whether Valli knew exactly where she was going to in the town. Valli told the old woman that she need not bother about her. Then she turned her face towards the window. On the way to the town, Valli was enjoying the outside scenes. Trees came running towards them. Sometimes the bus seemed to strike the oncoming vehicle. Both passed safely. Suddenly, Valli clapped her hands with joy. A cow was running in front of the bus. The bus slowed down. The driver sounded the horn again and again, but the cow became more and more frightened and continued running before the bus. Valli laughed and laughed until there were tears in her eyes. At last, the cow moved off. The bus passed by the side of a railway crossing. Valli enjoyed the scene of the trains. Then the bus entered the city area. There were huge crowds of people. Valli looked at the different things with surprise. Then the bus reached the city bus stand and stopped. Everybody got off the bus except Valli. On seeing her inside the bus, the conductor asked her why she was not getting down. Valli replied that she was going back to her village in the same bus and paid him for another ticket. He was surprised and asked her why she had come to the city. Valli told the conductor her main goal was to experience a bus ride to the town and not to explore the town itself. She had carefully saved enough money for a round trip, and her plan was to simply ride the bus there and back without getting off to do anything else in the town. He asked Valli if she would like to have a look at the sights outside the bus. Valli said that she was afraid of that. The conductor offered to pay for her drink, but Valli did not accept the offer. She refused because she was a proud and self respecting girl who did not want to accept anything for free from a stranger. She had no spare money for drink and was also cautious of mingling with strangers. On the return journey, there were the same wonderful sights. Valli enjoyed the scenes again. She saw the same cow, but this time the cow was lying dead by the roadside. The sight of the beautiful cow looking horrible and frightening after being hit by a vehicle dampened her enthusiasm and made her sad. This experience made her contemplate the realities of life and death. She was a very sensitive girl. The bus reached the village at 3:40. She got down and wished the conductor. The conductor smiled. He told Valli that whenever she felt like riding the bus, she could come and join them. Valli reached her house. She found her mother was awake. She was talking to one of her aunts who lived on South Street. Her mother and the aunt were discussing how so many things happen in the world that people are not aware of. Valli's mother stated that it's impossible to know everything. And Valli, having just returned from a secret bus trip, agreed with her mother because she had experienced a major event without her knowledge. Valli smiled to herself. She didn't want them to understand her smile because it was a secret expression of her accomplishment and independence from successfully taking a bus journey by herself. With this, I come to the end of the chapter, Madam Rides the Bus, written by Valli Kannan. I'll be coming with the next chapter. Till then, bye.